my loves. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Joey. I'm an energy channel and an intuitive. So I've got a message coming out today. Um, I was kind of just feeling like very much a sense of like a recovery or like a comeback for the people that are going to be aligning with this message. And basically, what I was showing is, or what I was shown was uh, two different snakes. Like one of them is like benign and it's like it looks like a coral snake. And then the other one was a coral snake, and they were in the form of Ouroboros. And I believe that one of them represented like a timeline that was not in alignment with our highest and best, a timeline that was leading us in like a detrimental direction, or one that was really not beneficial for our highest and best. And the other one, and the other snake is completely harmless. It looks similar, but it's just a slight little variation. And I believe that that variation is indicative of the perspective shift that it takes, when you reality hop, when you start shifting your perspective and changing your reality, and it is that simple. And I think a lot of it is, to the naked eye or to someone who's not really paying attention, you might not notice that shift at first, but it's like kind of energetically, it was giving, take a look around and really notice on like a cellular level, on like a small level, like what feels different. Like check in with your body, check in with your dreams, check in with the content that's coming to you, like really take notice of what it is on a smaller level that is changing, because if you really pay attention, you're going to notice that there's things that are changing. Yeah, so, and I just definitely recommend, doing extra spiritual cleansing at this time, especially, to help remove the old and the energy of the old and help you shift into the new, because that's what's going to actualize this river of blessings. That's what's going to release the constraint and really bring us back to a place where we feel like we're standing in the light, where we feel like we're really in a state of divine beauty and radiance. So I feel like this is just majorly going to be like the end of a hard time. I see this as a recovery. I see this as a major comeback. And I just definitely feel like there's going to be a certain level of um, satisfaction with the way your manifestations are coming through. There's going to be like a certain level of, oh, it just feels like life being brought back to you, like, and it reminds me of like the card in the Isis deck that says, if there's been like a period of your life that has felt like dry or depleted or been like lacking luster energetically or in any other way, be open to your spiritual healing and expect that miracle, like it's coming. And so that's very much, I have this Elven Touch card, and it very much is like giving winter vibes, and it's like after that long period of going within, after that long period of feeling left out in the cold, or after that long period of really waiting and waiting and waiting, or maybe feeling like you've been being told no, but in reality, you're not being told no. It was just a divine timing issue. And I do genuinely believe that we have released constraints and pushed ourselves through like a major shift. I feel like there was like a tipping scale that a lot of the collective has recently went through. I've noticed it all over online and in the algorithms. And I can just feel it. I can feel it in my bones that there's a lot of people that are going to be shifting into this rapid abundance. And they're showing me too, like how money for so long has been in the hands of people who are not going to use it properly. And now there's just a sense of all of these light workers, there's like a tipping on the scale of light and dark. And I genuinely believe that there is going to be more money flowing in to the light workers, to the people who are in alignment with their highest and best, to the people who are creating from love. Yeah. And so I feel like in this next chapter, and it's like they're showing me the Two of Wands energy. And it's really about like what it is that we're going to allow in this next chapter, what to really fight for and what to allow. And I feel like that's a large part of it too. This quiet period has been such a period of unrealized potential to really work on our divine masculine and our divine feminine sacred union internally. And I feel like that's a large part of why we've been so called to be doing inner work and to be almost going within and kind of canceling out external noise, because I feel like there's so much that we're shifting in here. And that's where all this change is coming from, is from the within, you know? And so I feel like there's just a certain level of like wisdom and fearlessness and, patience that we're having to master right now. The spirit is really doubling down and teaching us how to accomplish and to get what we want and desire. There's, yeah, and I see like a star in someone's chest, and it's just like pulling things in, like there's like a vacuum and it's just like, but I just see it as your manifestations coming towards you. But there is like a sense of embodying these blessings, embodying this energy, and like living in the wish fulfilled. Yeah, and I feel like this is very much a time to get excited, because I'm seeing like the Four of Wands in my mind's eye, Six of Wands energy. But again, I feel like this is coming after a period of a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety. And this is also like, I'm getting to like, this is a time to keep your blessings to yourself. Like, and I'm not saying like don't share, but I mean like if you're trying to manifest and like bring magic in, put magic in on things, the last thing that you want is like people doubting or casting negative vibes at your magic, and it's like trying to rain on your parade before you've even gotten your parade. It's like nobody needs that energy. Don't pay attention to that. Like, don't feed that energy. You need to focus on what you know, and it just really approach your manifestations with that certainty. And if you do cut yourself uh allowing other people's narratives or their limiting beliefs or their bullshit to affect you, just know that Callie is there to protect you. She is there to really reverse the damage, the momentum, and she's able to free us from the most negative pattern and stubborn mindsets. So when you're feeling like you yourself or your environment's really resistant to this change, just remember your true power, and don't be afraid to ask your spirit team for the help. Call in Kalima. I absolutely just love, 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 love her. Yeah. And so it's very much a great time for healing practices. And I feel like there's just, again, so much that can come from this time. And yeah, and it is. It's like I think I said the Two of Swords energy. Or no, I said the Two of Wands. But yeah, so it's very much a time like where I feel like you're almost being shielded, because it's like, again, this isn't supposed to be decisions that are made externally. Like if you see the blindfold, and that's what I was talking about, like these are shifts that we're making internally, okay? And that sword, there's two swords, and so the one is over here because it's indicative of following your intuition, following your inner guidance, your inner compass, okay, facing your true north. And so I feel like so much of that is going to be part of the inner shift that really aligns you with this abundance. When you start really realizing how much your energy would shift if you were in that wish fulfilled and then embodying that, okay? Yeah. The wishing well. Ah! So this is literally like the wish fulfillment card. I mean, the star obviously still is, but this deck also has an extra card in it, and it is the wishing well. Okay, so I feel like that's just quite explanatory, and I feel like the wishing well, this wish that's coming through. Also, 222 could be relevant for somebody. I've been seeing that number so much over the past week, but uh, also, I just see this as like a wish fulfillment coming in from spirit, okay? And I'm also feeling like be very mindful of the energy that you're putting out because they are always listening. They're always listening. And I just feel like there is a fresh start. There's very much a fresh start that's coming from you, for you. But it's also coming from you. That wasn't a mistake. Thank you, Spirit. But also, there is this level of leaving this sad energy in the past. Yeah, with the Empress on the bottom of the deck. Okay, so yeah, there's very much a sense of like focusing on your glow up, focusing on your glow up, focusing on the abundance that you have, focusing on what you're calling in, focusing on where you're going and not where you've been. All right. And I'm not saying forget about where you've been, but I am saying like real, like it's like a straighten your crown moment, like let's not forget who we are. Let's not forget who the fuck we are. Yeah. And so that's very much like, so these blessings are coming in, and I genuinely, I'm like seeing the sun in my mind's eye. Like, I feel like this is very much like such a positive, high vibrational energy that is coming after a period of, long darkness for some of you. I'm going to be very real about it. Like, this is like an energy that feels very, very haunting. It feels very doomy and gloomy, okay? And so I feel like this revival is going to come at a period when you really need it most. And I feel like some of you are already starting to shift into this. But many of you, I feel like are almost just in the holding the pose stage, and you've kind of been wondering, how much longer am I going to have to keep going on like this, and wondering when my blessings are coming, But I think, yeah, a lot of that perspective shift is, focusing on the present, focusing, living as if, and realizing that your blessings are not ever separate from you. I mean, it's literally an inner shift that you need to make and embody that, and that's how it comes. Okay, so I'm just seeing like the King of Pentacles here, and I feel like if someone really, it's just very much given like, act like the king that you are, like create your stability and really focus on that energy and call that in, because I feel like that's where we're heading to, is towards this King of Pentacles energy for a lot of you. And so I feel like this period of calm, this period of slow has been very intentional and very deliberate by spirit, because you are being called to release your own constraints, your own negative patterning, with the Four of Swords coming. It's very much a time to allow what does not serve you to fall away. What is this Chimanda say? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is. It's about this period of the pause has been for you to utilize to really have a breakthrough, to get to this next chapter is what I'm seeing. Yeah, but and it is definitely like for a lot of the people that are watching this specific reading, I believe that you've gotten a lot of the things that you've wished for, whether or not you're in full gratitude and at full appreciation for those blessings. I feel like there's almost like this teetering moment with how you feel about it, but I think that's a lot of like what you're learning how to anchor into is really sitting in that truth and holding it. But I understand that it's frustrating because this has been like a slow process, and I do see that. And I feel like sometimes you almost can't even see how close you are, how close you are, because it's just like it's right there, but you can't see it. Oh, Spirit. Do we have any final messages for this group? Yeah, new life, new life, new life, new life, new life. Okay, and that's one thing too, is like, this is just very much giving me like throat chakra vibes, just like the blue, and it's like very much spiritual protection too. And so I feel like a lot of like what I was talking about earlier is, about, yeah, it says right here, a clean slate and a fresh start. She protects and preserves that which is worthy of our heart. She shines in a perpetual state of divine beauty and radiance, attracting us to the most supporting and honoring circumstances. Yeah, so there is very much this sense of a rising sun, of a new golden era coming into our life, a new life being offered to us within this life. But the sacred fuel and the things that we need to offer up for this new life are aspects of our old self that no longer serve us. Okay. I also really enjoy using the Ankh as an actual tool. If you physically have an Ankh, that is amazing. But I like to really envision this as a portal, and I will activate it with my heart chakra, and I will go through those portals, and envision my new life, envision where I'm going. Yeah, and they're also very powerful healing tools. It's a very powerful energetic energetic amulet. You can transmit energy out the bottom of them. But yeah, also Archangel Michael could be very valid for some of you. I feel like he's definitely there's a strong level of protection that is surrounding you right now, and I'm actually seeing Archangel Michael like with his sword, like drawing a circle around someone, and it's kind of like lighting up, and I just feel like there is like this divine aura of protection around a lot of you right now. And yeah, so what I'm seeing too is this is part of like, if you've noticed more attention or more energy coming to you, a lot of it is the light inside of you, but it's also, I feel like, a lot of the protection that's around you right now. And just there's so much energy and radiance that is around you spiritually and within you right now. And so you might even be noticing more energy, like more people noticing you, just in very subtle ways at first, or it could start to really build momentum. It could even show up as like more followers, like more people, friend requesting you, anything like that. Yeah, and it might seem like magic. It might actually seem like magic. But also, like, this new life is being fueled by your magic, okay? And there's a sense of realizing how powerful you are, and really realizing that your wishes do come true, okay? There is just this major sense of understanding your connection to the divinity, understanding that you are the one that molded these keys for your new life. You spoke these keys into existence. You made this new life, okay? And I think that so much of that is embodying that magic, is embodying that truth. It's being seen for that truth. It's showing up in the everyday around everyone that know as your truth. Okay. And really laying that old version of yourself to rest. If you're sitting there telling yourself like, oh, when I get this money, this is how I'm gonna carry myself, or when I get this blessing, this is what I'm gonna do. No, you need to start doing that now. You need to start acting like that now, okay? You need to, well, I don't mean to tell anyone what they need to do, but it will be very beneficial to you to embody that truth now, okay? Because once you do, you're literally becoming an energetic match to the life that you're calling in. The shift is happening from within, like it just can't be stopped. Yeah, and I'm hearing, you can't stop the beat, the ocean of the motion. Yeah. So very much like it's a time, and I feel so much like what is being called to lay to rest is a lot of those doubts. It's like when the sea's getting a little rough, and you immediately just start like losing hope. And I feel like that is, or I'm also like feeling uh there's like a sense of comparisonitis, like comparing your journey to other people's, and they're like showing me this boat, and it's like the captain comparing his boat to the boat next to him, and it's like instead of just being thankful for the boat that he has now. And yeah, there's a sense of really almost like jealousy and competitiveness that they're being asked to like really um let go of. Wow, thank you, spirit. Yeah. And lots of boat energy, yeah. And I feel like it's really being grounded in your own energy, being grounded in your own magic. Yeah, being grounded in your own life and what you're calling in. And there's just this sense of like major focusing on yourself, and holding the faith in the divine. And this is just giving me like, excuse me, it's giving me like divine timing, and it's very much, but like trusting in that divine timing, you know, and not, it's like really like a sense of holding on for the ride, all right, and not, you know, doubting where you're heading every 2 seconds. And like, yeah, there's just a sense of surety in where you're going. And also, I feel like there's just a lot of, there's like another layer to this message too. And it's like, as you're going through this period of rest, as you're stepping into this new life, you're in a very magic time, and you're like in a very magic portal, okay? And I feel like the energies are very sensitive right now, and part of this message is to stay away from the stormy situations right now, and to really stay away from people that are putting you in that very 3D mindset, that bring you to that place where you're comparing yourself, you know, where you're doubting yourself, you know, where you're getting caught up in drama and things that don't fucking matter. Okay. And so I think a lot of this message is to be aware of how your light and your magic gets siphoned off. It's to be aware of how people are drawn to your light. And I feel like how sometimes that can almost slow you down, or bring you off course of where you're going. And you might not even realize it because you're in the middle of a storm. You're in the middle of a shit storm that someone else has brought by you. All right. But there's also, there's just many, many layers to this. Many, many, many layers. And yeah, with this, all this purple that's coming out, I don't see that as an accident. I see this literally as trusting, again, like what I was saying about being in the storm. And there's a certain level of trusting where you're being led. And it's like they're showing me the Six of Swords in my mind's eye, from the Light Seers Tarot. And it's like a woman in like a little brown dinghy boat, and there's crows which represent spirit, and they're pulling her through these rough seas. But at the very end you can see like a little bit of sun, you know, where she is being pulled into light. But there is a sense of not knowing where you're going, you know, and trusting where spirit's leading you even before you can see it. And I just, where this ties in with the purple is it was just very much giving crown chakra, which I view as our connection to the divine, okay? And I feel like there is just so much a sense of speaking your new life, speaking this reality into existence, and sharing this message, okay? And also, yeah, and I feel like someone is receiving messages from their spirit guides and the angels that they're being asked to share, okay? And so don't doubt this. Those messages that you're receiving are heaven sent. They are meant to be shared. They are meant to be utilized. Oh, wow. 33333 here. We got 3, and then we got 3, and then we got 33. Okay? So very much angel numbers, synchronistic. 369. Also, like this March, I feel like is going to be where a lot, yeah, baby, I know I'm right. Exactly. So this is going to be the month where a lot of things pop off for a lot of people. And I know that we hear that a lot, but I'm so serious. Like there is just major shifts that are happening with this Venus retrograde, with this Mercury retrograde. And I do just see this almost as being like, spirit is like, I am a Gemini moon, okay? And Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So when Mercury goes into retrograde, a lot of times, like, I will just take that extra time to just really relax and chill because there's just so many misunderstandings. And I tend to feel impatient a lot of times with people, and their lack of communication skills during Mercury retrograde. But I was just shown by spirit that this potentially could be quite the opposite, and it could be very beneficial for a lot of us, you know? Again, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. I've got to find a card. It's going to really bother me. Guys, hold on. You can't make this up, guys. So the card I dropped was the snake, and I just set it down and I look, and underneath it, it's gratitude. So it's like very much transmuting and releasing. It's just like the snake shedding its skin. Like we are in the Chinese zodiac year of the snake, and I'm sure you've heard that a million times, but it's because we are literally having this reconnection with our gratitude. We're having this reconnection with a part of ourselves that we have lost. And it's again, it's giving like that Isis card that I was talking about earlier. But that's also what this elven touch energy is about. Okay, so many of us are reconnecting with that inner child. So many of us are making the shift back into the heart, back into our intuition, back into our gifts. I feel like so many different people are making different journeys, but we're all kind of coming to like this climatic energy together. And so this is a really, really potent time. And I feel like I've said this a lot on this channel since it started, but also I feel like every moment that we move in this 3D reality, like as we are linearly moving, I genuinely believe that we are gaining strength, we are gaining momentum, we are becoming more psychic, more embodied. You know, every day that we transmute and shift into our gratitude further and embody our new truths, I just genuinely believe that we are, it's not even that we're getting stronger because we've always had the strength. It's just that we're embodying it. We're aligning with it more, okay? We are making room for this strength, for these abilities more and more every day. And so I just genuinely, this is like, I see this sign as utilizing your abilities, utilizing your psychic gifts and the different unique blessings that we each have. And that's what I think a lot of what I was talking about earlier with embodying, like showing up and being seen for these things, being seen for what you are and not caring how you're going to be received by other people, you know? Because the thing is we all have gifts and we all have our own abilities. And being afraid of what other people think is such a low vibration, okay? And that is part of what we're being asked to transmute, you know? Shift into gratitude and being thankful that you have these blessings, you know, that you have these gifts, and trust that God or the divine has given them to you for a reason. Trust in your ability to trust them and transmute anything that would hold you back from them. Hold on, I gotta clear my throat. Sorry about that, guys. Wow. Yeah, I think I just was saying something about the throat chakra too. So there is just such a power of using your voice, like actually speaking and transmitting. And I think too, for someone might need to hear this, I feel like a lot of the situations and the things that we've been through that we have trouble shedding or holding on to, it can be so powerful to actually just talk about it and share it out loud. And I feel like that me and another psychic were just discussing like the power of saying things out loud. And like I feel like there's just a different part of your brain that works, you know, like when you physically speak something out and then you get to hear it from yourself. I feel like it can really put things into perspective and be like, oh, that's a very silly thing to think, you know, like I'm definitely getting in my head, I'm spiraling. And I feel like it puts you into an ability to transmute these emotions with more ease. And so someone might have needed to hear that, you know. But also I do just see this as very much being mindful of the people that you have around you and transmuting the energies, people, places, things that are of a low vibration, you know, that are no longer matching where we're going. And also I, you know, with the transmute and the snake coming out, and it was just matching up like with what I was being shown about the two different realities. And it's like that quantum leap, that shift happens from transmuting, from leaving the shadow behind, or not really leaving the shadow, but finding a way to integrate the lessons and the blessings from the shadow without all of the dense emotions and the things that would constrain our river of blessings. I believe I said 222 earlier, and I'm like looking down in the wishing well, 22, so it's like another 22222. Yep. So I very much see this as a wish fulfillment reading, and I do see this as a sign of very much end of hard times. Ace of Wands, it's coming, it's yours. Feel it in your hand. Feel it in your hand. This manifestation is landing. Okay, and this again, we were talking about the end of dark times, you know, and it says right here, she is the rising sun, marking the ending of darkness. And that is really how I feel about this Ace of Wands, because I'm also seeing the Ace of Wands from the Light Seers Tarot, which is like a head with a flame on the third eye. And it's very much this sense of passion, this creativity, this, because the wands are also sexual energy. So it's like that inner spark, that inner drive, that inner fire. And I do see this as this revival, you know, for a lot of you. It's going to be multifaceted across many areas of your life. It's not just going to be financial. It could be, you know, financial, spiritual, health, you know, whatever, what may have you. I mean, your intuition is going to tell you. Okay, I don't need to spell out every little thing for you. But what I will tell you is that this is genuinely going to give you like a new perspective on life. It's going to completely reinvigorate you and bring you to a state of joy. And it's like they're showing me like when you're younger. I mean, I still wake up like this, but a lot of people I feel like associate it to childhood. And it's like when you wake up in the morning and you're genuinely like immediately like so happy you woke up, and there's just like this sense of joy, and you're just like, you just got like extra pep in your step, you know? And that's what they're showing me. And so I feel like this is really, yeah. And I feel like there's just, yep, this is the first thing I was drawn to, is just feeling like you are being held down, like being oppressed. And I see this as the end of oppressing times. Okay. And I feel like this was a period of your life that, you know, may have felt like it was taking a long time, or this could have been like a big chapter. But I do see this very much as, you know, something that you've learned to transmute. And with the Queen of Wands coming out, it's like I almost feel like you've made the shadows your friends. Like with this here, I just feel like it's finding a way to like make peace with your demons, make peace with your shadows, and transmute it and come out uh, as a baddie, you know. And I see this, yeah, I see this devil card as like being the laboratory, the crucible, uh, that is really allowing you to embody this next level of power, this next level of, you know, just, I'm hearing like a miracle worker. Like I feel like, and it really is, it's like they're showing me in my mind's eye like her transmuting like blackness and like just icky shit into that flower. They're showing me it like growing from her hand, and she was just kind of like watching it, you know. And so I feel like there is very much a sense of clarity that is going to be coming to you too, and just a lot more light on where you're heading and what you're doing. And I feel like there's just going to be a renewed sense of trust with spirit. So like what they're showing me is like even when you don't know where you're going, even when you might feel like you're being blocked from what you're being seen, you're going to then have these modalities and these different abilities in your tool belt to really trust spirit, to trust where you're being led because of the things that you've been through previously. Yeah, and I feel like that is going to give you like the confidence that you need to just charge forward, following your intuition, to just trust forward, not knowing and being okay with that. Yeah, because you're going to be very mindful of all that you've been through and how far you've come and all the lessons that you've learned. Yeah, and I genuinely believe that a lot of this confidence for you is going to come in the form of physical abundance. It's going to come in the form of physical wealth, and it's really going to be just almost a sense of like stability and security that you've been lacking. And I feel like once that is replenished, I feel like that's going to be a lot of um that's going to be a lot of what is holding you back, I feel like, from reaching this next chapter. So again, I feel like there's just a sense of embodying, and not getting caught up in what everyone else is thinking or feeling. And so that, okay, there's like another thing that they're showing me too is like a lot of the people, the reason why you're being called to really go within, and it's not just about the work that you're doing, it's about the work that other people are not doing. And so there's a lot of people that are really in this competitive energy, and they're it's like the people who are doing the work are like going through these internal processes, but I feel like a lot of the people externally are at odds with each other. And there's so many people that are in this competitive fighting energy where they're really wanting to almost, oh, continue on like with karmic situations. They're not getting it. And so I feel like right now a lot of uh there's a lot of things that spirit is trying to help you fast track, and I feel like these are just all situations and people that are potentially going to be slowing that down. And with the Ace of Cups coming out in reverse here, I genuinely do see this as a time for you to really pour all that love inward, all that energy, and just cut that external noise off, okay? And really go ghost for a little bit and show yourself some radical self-love. That is very much like what I feel like spirit is guiding you to do. So if you have been feeling like it's just not lining up when you're trying to hang out or make these plans, and it's just like, oh, you find yourself like with nothing to do, it's probably because spirit wants you to be spending a little time alone, to be, maybe writing or painting or self-expressing or, singing, doing anything, or, taking a class is something that is really going to benefit you, that you're doing for you. Okay. And that energy is contagious. So I do see this as a period of, embracing the pause, and it's like, it's giving Hanged Man vibes. Yeah. But what it is it's leading you into this place to be that leader. It's leading you into this place to be this manifesting powerhouse with the King and Queen of Wands coming out. Oh, that's the King of Cups. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've just immediately read in my mind's eye, I seen King of Wands, but that is the King of Cups. Okay, yeah. So I feel like too, there is just a sense of, with the King of Cups being what came out, I feel like the reason why we're being called to really pour a lot of this self-love into ourselves is because we have this storehouse of emotional empathy and blessings. But a lot of with the King of Cups energy, I feel like they can almost kind of get testy and whatnot sometimes when they're running on low. And I feel like that's why it's so important, when you have all of this empathy and when you are this compassionate, to really show yourself that self-love and to show yourself that compassion as well. Because these King of Cups energies can sometimes get like a little snappy or testy when they're not getting enough self-love, and especially when you have all these external influences, because again, with the King of Cups, that's a very empathetic energy. And I feel like when you're surrounded by a bunch of people that are at odds and in this icky energy, it can be hard to focus on what you're trying to accomplish, okay? And I feel like this is on the bottom, the Nine of Pentacles. There's like a major abundance and harvest that is coming to us. And so I think it's going to be a lot easier to call this in and to embody this when we are focusing on filling our own cup and our own emotional needs, and really taking the steps from the divine masculine aspect to ensure that we protect our peace right now, and to really take those extra steps to master our emotions. Okay. This is where I'm going to leave it for the day, but I hope that you enjoyed this. If you made it to the end, maybe drop a little star or a rainbow or something. Oh, keep facing your true north. I love you guys.